Your ideal price, it has to be 15% less than the retail price. This is the process that I used when I was doing the research and preparing to buy my first car. Say for example, the car is retailing at 300,000. That means your own price that you want to purchase the vehicle with is going to be 255,000. And there is reasons to that, and I'm going to share with you why I say you should have your own price at 85% of the retail price. What's up, visionaries? Firstly, I just wanted to appreciate each and every person that is subscribed and is watching my video. If it's your first time on this channel, or you are a returning audience but you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. This will really help me, and it gives me the drive to keep on making this content, which is valuable for you guys. So please subscribe, like, share, and comment down below. Give me your recommendations about what you think I should do differently or what I can improve on my videos. So today I just want to take you through how I was able to negotiate the price of my car when I bought it last year in end of August. Because on one of my videos, someone commented and told me that I should make a full breakdown of how I negotiated my car to get such a discount. So this is the video today, and I hope that person is watching. I'm doing this video because you recommended it on the comments. So you see, when you recommend something, I will take your guys' word for it and I will deliver. So yeah, so there is a few steps that I want to share with you guys on how to negotiate the price of your car. So let's say you're a first-time car buyer, you know nothing about cars, maybe you just got a job and then you're starting to work, then you're starting to look into the market for a car. So these steps are the things that based on my own experience, and this is my opinion. This is not something that is proven or whatever, but this is based on my experience, and I would like to share it with you. So yeah, so the very first step that I need you to do, if you're someone who is looking to buy your first car, step one: do a thorough research for each car that you like. And that's the most important part, because some people, I've noticed that they just go blindly and say I want a car, but they don't even know what type of a car they want. They don't even know where to start, but they just say I want a car, and then they wake up, go to the dealership, and then at the end of the day they end up being ripped off by the dealerships, because dealerships will rip you off if they see that you're weak. So do a thorough research on the car that each car that you like. So that will help you, that for you to know what you want when you go to the dealership. So what you can do is find the retailing price of each car of your choice. You will have different choices of cars. You may like different cars. So it's very advisable that initially, as you start your research on buying a car, go to their official website. If it's a VW, go to VW official website, go and select the particular car that you want, the particular spec that you want, the particular model that you want, and note down the retail price for that car, for all the choices that you have at that moment. Don't be stuck on one choice, because I will share going forward why you shouldn't do that. You should have vast of choices, and there is a reason why you should have multiple choices of the car that you want to buy. And watch videos of the people who already have the car of choices that you have. You can go to YouTube, you can watch the videos to just get a clear understanding of the car's drivability, the pros and cons of buying that car, because people will make videos about their cars, and you will find reviews maybe on TikTok or YouTube, but YouTube more advisable. That's where you'll find people who make reviews on different cars, like Mr. How Much and Mozi Sambo. They make reviews on cars, so you can go and watch to just get a glimpse of how your potentially car in the future is in the essence of drivability, reliability, durability, and just the aesthetic of it. So yeah, do that. That's the first step. And to just emphasize it, you have to know the specs for each car of choice that you have. So let's say you have one of your choices is a VW Polo. You have to know if you want a Polo Vivo base model, or you want a Polo Vivo Life, or you want a Polo Vivo Style, or you want a Polo Vivo GT. Those are the different trims under the Polo Vivo line. So you have to know which trim you want, and you have to know all the specs that you want, so that when you go to the dealership, they will see that this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he wants. So that's the first step. The second step, make a summary of all the choices that you have. So approximately, I will say that have a minimum of 5 choices, and make sure that these cars are the cars that are on the same category. So for example, if you're a first time car buyer, and you want an entry level car, go look into the cars like your Polo Vivos, your Suzuki, your Swift, your Baleno, your Starlets, all those type of cars. And if maybe you're a first time car buyer, but your pockets are a bit full, maybe you want a mid class car, yeah, go and make sure that the choices that you're selecting are within that class. You're not supposed to be all over the place. You want to buy a Polo Vivo, but you also want to buy a GTI. It doesn't make sense. So make sure that all the cars that you want, like the cars of your choice, they are within the same category. And know the specs for each car that you want. I've already mentioned that. I'm just emphasizing it because you have to choose which model you want for each particular car. If it's a VW, you have to know which model you want. Do you want a Polo Vivo? Do you want a TSI? Do you want a GTI? You have to make sure that when you go to the dealership, you know all those stuff. And step 3, lay out the retail price for each choice that you have and compare to your ideal price. So this is one of the most important part of the process of buying a vehicle. So when you go to the company's official website, you go and select the model that you want, the specs you want, and they'll give you a retail price for that particular car. Say now we're going to work with an example of a car that is retailing at 300,000. Say now you find out that, okay, this car is 300,000. Your ideal price, it has to be 15% less than the retail price. This is the process that I used when I was doing the research and preparing to buy my first car. Your own price, your own price, the ideal price that you would like to purchase a vehicle with, it has to be 15% less than the retail price, or it has to be 85% of the retail price. I hope that you understand that. So say for example, the car is retailing at 300,000. That means your own price, the price that you have, that you want to purchase the vehicle with, is going to be 255,000. And there is reasons to that, and I'm going to share with you why I say you should have your own price at 85% of the retail price. So when you go to the dealership, tell them the model of your choice, number 1. So you go there, you find the salesperson and all that, and then you sit down with them, and then they ask you questions. So you want a car, what car do you want? That's where now you have to tell your story, and you have to tell your story completely. Don't tell your story in half. Firstly, tell them the car of your choice that you want. Be specific. If you want a Polo TSI, be specific. I want a TSI base model, or I want a TSI live, or I want a TSI top spec, or I want a TSI R line, and I want it to come with these extras whatever that you want for that particular vehicle. So you make sure that you mention each and everything that you want in your car. And then after that, the salesperson is gonna give you a proposal price, or he's just gonna tell you that, okay, the particular car that you want is retailing at this price, and the extras they are this much and this much and this much. And then you tell him now your ideal price. You tell them your ideal price. We don't care about the extras that they're telling you would be okay for you to get the mat, because for cars like Polo Vivos, they will charge you extra for things like your mat, your floor mat. So we don't care about those things. We are being specific on the ideal price that we have set before we went on our way to the dealership, right? And our ideal price is 15% less than the retail price. I hope we are together in this one. So yeah, they will give you the all the pricing and everything. Then you tell them that, nah, that's too much for me. That's too much. I cannot be able to afford paying that much. My price, my proposal is 255,000. We're working with 300,000 retail price example, right? My proposal, 255,000. That or nothing, right? And what I know based on my experience is that immediately the salesperson is going to give you a price. They're going to give you a price that is less than the retail price. They might even no longer mention that your extras will be so much and whatever, but they will give you a price. They will make sure that it's less than the retail price, but it's not going to be that much. So don't be biased. Don't fall for the trap. It's just a trap to see if you really know what you want, and you really want the car with the price that you mentioned. So say the car is 300,000. They're going to tell you that, okay, I can give you the car with 295,000. That's so small. 5,000 discount that's very small. So it's unacceptable. You know what I mean? It's unacceptable. So don't accept that. Just tell them now, I can't. No, I can't afford to pay for that much. I can't afford to pay for that much. And one most important thing is that don't disclose whether you'll be paying the car cash, or whether you will require finance, or you have your own banker. Don't disclose that. If they ask about that, just tell them that, for now, I just need you to give me the quote for the car. Everything else we'll discuss after, when I know the quote of the car. That's all, right? So you tell them, my price is 255,000, that or nothing, and try to negotiate it. And if they further reduce their pricing to a specific price that maybe you are feeling like, okay, at least it's something, or you're satisfied with that, okay, ask for the quote. Let's say in this case, maybe you negotiated and this guy said, okay, I can give you the car for 290,000. That's a 10,000 discount, right? So if you have negotiated and you feel that, okay, there's no more progress in this salesperson is stuck on that price, okay, ask for the quote. And after asking for the quote, make sure that quote has every single thing that you asked for, all the extras that you asked for. The extras may be, for example, your floor mat, if you want to buy a Polo Vivo, your maintenance plan. Some cars don't come naturally with maintenance plan. Your reverse camera, some of the extra features and whatever. Make sure that your quote has all those things. All those things, they are quoted, and the trim that you want, it is the exact spec that you mentioned, because they may give you something different. They may agree to what you're saying, but when they quote you, they give you a quote for a base model without the extras that you mentioned, without the things that you want. So make sure that the quote has all those things. And after that, take the quote. Now we're going to the next step. The next step, there's nothing other than going to the second dealership. So you're taking your quote. Say now the price was reduced from 300,000 to 290,000. Now we go to the different dealerships. When we go to the different dealership, we're doing the same thing, same process. You get there, you find the salesperson, you tell them about the car of your choice, all the extras that you want, everything that you want, the spec that you want, and they will give you a price. Most probably obvious, they will start by telling you this car is retailing at this much, your extras are this much, and whatever and whatever. We get that. Just tell them, I can't afford to pay that again. You're repeating the same thing. I cannot afford that. I can only afford to pay for this car 255,000. We know it sounds ridiculous for a car that is 300,000. It sounds ridiculous, right? But you have no idea how crazy salespersons can go when they want to sell a car. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So you tell them the same story, same thing. I can only pay 255,000 for this car. I cannot be able to pay 300,000. That's too expensive for me. That's too much for me. I can't afford it. And then they will reduce the price to maybe 295, just like the first dealership. And you tell them, nah, no, I can't. And then maybe they reduce it to 200, let's say approximately 292,000, right? And then at 292,000, that's where you pull out your quote from a different dealership. So you tell this person that, no, I went to another dealership before I came here, and they quoted me for this specific car with all these extras, with everything that I mentioned here, for 290. And let's see if you can work around it. Let's see if you can, do something out of this. I'm telling you, the salesperson, and depending on your timing, the timing is also very, very important. You can't go to buy a car in April. That's just for most car manufacturing industries, that's the start of production for cars. So they will be very expensive at that moment. You have to go, towards the end of the year. I bought mine at the end of August. I was a bit early than the time where I wanted to buy the car in. I wanted to buy the car end of the year, November or December. That's the best time you can buy a car. But just make sure that you're buying your car towards the end of the year, because mostly you will get discounts because they are trying to clear the old models to make room for the upcoming models, right? So depending on your timing, you have no idea how much you can cook from salespeople. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So tell this person, I have a quote. I was quoted 290,000. See what you can do with this quote. You know what I mean? See what you can do. And most probably they will work something. They will work something. Maybe if they're being stagnant, if they're being difficult, they may say, okay, I can only, beat this quote by 2,000 rand. Maybe they quote you 288,000. You tell them that, nah, we can do better. We can do better from this. Remember, I can only afford to pay 255,000, but because I can see that, the car is expensive and all that, but let's try to beat this quote. Let's try to, even if it's not 255,000, but at least if it's something reasonable. I mean, if something reasonable, I'm willing to go to that extent if possible, and see what they can cook. Let's say maybe you negotiate that, and then they say, okay, I can give you the car at 285,000. And I say, no, okay, that's something, but it's still way beyond my ideal price. I still can't afford 285,000 like that. It's still very expensive. See what they can do. See what they can do. If now that's their final price, the salesperson, and they're being difficult and whatever, you just said, okay, fine. Yeah, at least it's nothing. You can give me the quote. I'll give you a call tomorrow. Make them, promise them that you come back to get the car, and then they should do your quote. And then after that, verify the code. Make sure that there's everything that you mentioned and all the stuff that you want in your car. Then after that, take the quote. The next step is not to phone them again. It's not to call them back the following day. Next step is not for you to say, okay, I'm going to do the finance. No, that's not the next step. The next step is to go to the third dealership. I hope we understand each other. The next step is to go to the third dealership with the latest quote that you have, the one that you were quoted 285,000, right? You don't need the 290,000 quote anymore. You can even throw it away. Yeah, you can. So take the second quote that you got, go to the third dealership, repeat the same process. Tell the person your car of choice, your specs, your extras that you need and whatever, and do the same process. Negotiate it. If they are able to maybe beat it, let's say for 285,000, they beat it by 3,000 to say 282,000. Okay, cool. After negotiating the same way and making sure that you reach the point where the salesperson maybe is even getting pissed by you, is saying, nah, you are unreasonable or whatever. Then yeah, when you get to that point, you can ask, okay, it's fine, give me the code, repeat the same thing, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, or I'm gonna do whatever. Yeah, I think I love the car and the price is reasonable, so give me the code. Take the code. The following step is not to call them back the following day. No, that's not your first. That's not your following step. You need to visit approximately or the minimum of 5 dealerships and see if you can get the best deal from these 5. Right. So after the third visit, the third dealership, you go to the fourth dealership. You go to the fourth dealership, you repeat the same process. You show them the quote, the latest quote you have, that I was quoted 282,000 for this car. But obviously you start initially just like in other dealerships. They tell you the retail price and you tell them that nah. Then you pull up the quote when they are approaching that price. Maybe they're approaching 285. You tell them that the previous dealership quoted me 282,000 for this car. So let's see if you can beat it. Let's see if you can do something. Let's say maybe they say, okay, I can give you the car for 280, but I'll be killing myself, because the sales people will tell you that, and that's when you know, okay, I'm getting somewhere here. They will tell you, I can give you the car for 280, but to be honest, man, I'll be running a loss here. They're not running a loss. They're running a loss for their own commissions that they will get when they sell a car to you with a high price. They're not running a loss. The production prices of cars are ridiculously very low. They're very low. So dealerships buy cars from manufacturers with a very low price, and they escalate the price. They just to make a profit, because they're businesses. They need to make profit. Even if it's a VW dealership, it's running a business. It's not the same business that is being run by the production company. It's not the same business that is run by VW. VW dealerships, they're running their own businesses. So get that straight. So after that, get the quote that the person will give you at the fourth dealership. And let's say maybe we are now at 280,000, right? That's the latest. 280,000. Okay, say 280,000. Now you go to the fifth dealership. That's the last dealership now, and you tell them that this person. So you tell them that I visited another dealership before coming here. They quoted me 280. Let's see if we can work around that. Technically, you repeat the same process. It's the same thing. And the more you do it, you will see how easy it will become to you to convince the rest people. The more dealerships that you visit, you will see how you are becoming more experienced. You're getting familiar with this negotiating thing, and your skills are going up. You're gaining skills while you're doing it. Then you go to the fifth dealership. Now you're negotiating from 280. Let's say the person maybe, depending on your timing, they tell you that, okay, I can give you a discount from 280,000 maybe to 275,000, and depending on your timing, that's reasonable. That's reasonable for a car that is 300,000, and say they discount you to 275,000. That's something, because that's minus 25,000, and you're getting the specs that you want, you're getting the extras that you want without paying extra or whatever. So that's something. So depending on the timing, obviously, you can consider that. But promise you can take it further. And but I'm sure if you use this process, by the time you get to the fifth dealership, you should be at the price that is reasonable. You should be at the price that is gonna be a reasonable discount for you. So I'm just using these values just to try and make it more practical. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make it more practical. So this is the same process that I used when I wanted to buy my car. So if you do this when you want to buy your first car, promise you, and make sure that you come back and subscribe. And obviously you're subscribed by now. I'm sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you come back to this video and you comment and you tell me, give me a review of how your journey went with buying the car, because I can tell you 100% this process will work. It worked for me when I was buying my first car. I bought my first car last year in 2025. So this car is a Polo Vivo model, 2025 model, new from the box. It was retailing at 295,000, and I used the same process. Uh, so I got it from I negotiated from 295,000 down to 263,000. That is like 89% of the retail price. So from 295,000 to 263, it's 89% of the retail price. So on the 15%, that is ideal for us that I mentioned earlier. That means for me, I got the discount of 11%. I didn't get 15% directly, but I got 11%. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So that's the whole process. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? That's what I used when I was buying my first car. And today I'm paying an installment that is always less than 5,000, because I used professional banking. I bank with one of the banks in South Africa, and they gave me a preferential interest rate, which is prime minus 1%. So right now, my installment is less than 5,000, and I'm enjoying my car. I don't have any strain or any regrets or anything. I'm just proud of the research that I did and following this process that I just shared with you guys. So I promise you, go do this and you'll get your car. You'll be happy, you'll be joyful. And just to mention one most important thing again, don't mention whether you'll be buying the car cash, financing it, or you have your own bank, like you're a professional banker like myself. You don't need to mention all those things. Don't mention. You tell them we'll discuss after. Give me a quote. We'll discuss after. You know what I mean? And after that, then if you are a professional banker, you submit your quote to your professional banker with the required documents. If you require finance, now that's where you need to be really, really thorough. They will quote you. Make sure that they do an application for you for the same car that you negotiated. Make sure before you leave the dealership, or maybe you may leave the dealership and tell you that they will do the application for you, and maybe come back or whatever. They will call, give you a call once you're approved or whatever, check your credit score and whatever. Make sure that your application, when they send it back to you, you verify if they applied for the particular car that you wanted, with the things that you wanted, and sorry, and with the price that you negotiated. Because that's where some dealerships rip people off, because people don't check. They do an application for you, but you negotiated the price from 300,000 to 280 or 275, but they quote you at 285,000 or something like that. So they will try and make something and add some extras and whatever. But just be very, very, very careful when you make an application. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I really hope that it serves a purpose to your life. I hope that it will make you subscribe, like, share, and comment down below. Otherwise, I'm leaving it here.